Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Melanie Hapisu, but my channel is called Sessions with Namloash because my middle name is Namloani, and Namloash is basically just a short form or a nickname for it. So today's video is such an exciting video. Guys, I have such a serious guest here, a celeb. In case you don't know her, by the way, you have a problem. So this is my friend. She's been my friend for a number of months or a year or so. And so I'll allow her to introduce herself because I'm just born like that. I want people to take the stage. So Lynne, take it away.
Guys, my name is Lynne Aswani. I'm a musician, I'm a singer, songwriter, performing artist, and soon to be recording artist. And I'm a student at USIU doing international relations and a minor in French. And I'm also an event planner, you can call me that, and a travel enthusiast. Yeah.
Hey, a basket of everything. Oh my God. Thanks so much for that introduction. I'm sure guys are wowed, just like I am. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Lynne, you've mentioned music in your
Yeah.
introduction. And personally, this is what I wanted this conversation to be about because
Yeah.
personally, I think that's how I know you mostly on the music side. So I'm actually really impressed to know the rest of event planner, of the French and all. But I mean, what exactly does this music career entail? You've talked about soon to be recording artist. Tell us a little bit about this whole music career of yours. How did it begin? How did you get where you are? How has it been? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, my love for music started when I was a child because I used to sing like in plays, in church, in school. And then as time went by, when I joined high school, that's when I realized that I could get into performing in front of people. So when I finished high school, I joined Sauti Academy, where I did some vocal coaching and songwriting coaching. Then after that, I got into live performance because I wanted to dwell into that because I feel like there's a gap that we have in Kenya when it comes to live performance. So basically, a normal day of my life when I have a gig would be waking up, getting my band to be ready, going to studio, practicing, then, getting my face done, dressing up, and giving a show in a gig. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Seems like such a life to dream about, you know? Personally, I feel like being a musician doesn't really take a lot personally. But then, I mean, having friends like you makes me know that it actually takes a lot. Because I mean, sometimes when
Yeah.
I see you guys rehearse, or when I've had experiences where I've had to have an event where I have to run sound check, and you do sound check
Yeah.
until 2 minutes before the event, and I'm like, these musicians, this is such a hard task. But I mean,
It,
it's
yeah.
something interesting to learn about.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Okay.
was this like your passion all along, Ama? How did it come up, really?
It was always a passion, but
Mm.
now when I started like as I got older, I started like looking at how other countries have the music industry set up. And I was seeing that there's sort of a balance when it comes to recording music and live performance music. But when it comes to Kenya, you find that there's a big gap. There's more of the recording and not a lot of the performing, like live performances. So I was like, this is what I want to get into, and I'm most comfortable during live performances. So that's how I got into live performance.
Wow, speaking of live performances, I am so curious to just know what runs in your mind because I think you're such a performer. Guys, when Lynne is performing, she will sing, she will dance, she will do everything. Yani, the stage will be busy. And so, I
Yeah.
mean, how is that moment for you? Could you just maybe tell us a bit about your experience while you're performing?
When I'm on stage, I usually tell people it's like the place that I can be myself. I'm free and I feel like nobody can judge me because this is my art and I know how to deliver it best, like how I deem, like how I feel that is the best way for me. So when I move around, I engage with the crowd, I scream, I shout, I do harmonies, it makes me feel alive. Like this is me giving myself or pouring myself out to the world. Yeah.
Wow, nice to know. Guys, by the way, I'll actually link Lynne's social media and YouTube in the description box so that for those who've not had her performing, you can have the privilege to. Personally, I have a number of times, and it's such an honor. But I
Thank
mean,
you.
even as we talk about all of this, coming from an African family, specifically maybe coming from Kenya, music
Yeah.
is not at the normal careers that an African parent would want you to take. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, starting from just African parents to aunties to friends, how has it
Yeah.
been for you being in a totally different career from what people would consider normal? How has it been for you? How do people react when you tell them what you do?
There's both sides of the coin. I say there are some people who think that I'm not being serious with my life because, coming from an African setting, like the norms are like being a lawyer, engineer, medicine. But from the background that I have, both of my parents are creatives because my dad is a poet and my mom is a singer. So despite that, that Africanness in them to like do something else, what they told me is you can do another career, but just balance it out and also do music because that's your passion. So in case, like, let's say, because the art industry is not very warm and welcoming, in case music doesn't work out, you have something that you can lean back to. Yeah.
Wow, you should be happy your parents are, that nice because trust me, I know some people wouldn't have actually had this as a career because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't even understand why until this century, there are still parents
Yeah.
who feel like, that can't be a career of choice. But I mean, I feel like all of us go through it because even for me
Yeah.
personally, even as I'm in a career for social media, at first everyone was looking at me like, what? Your work will just be to be on social media. And I'm like, okay, no, it's more than that. So I can imagine those are some of the things that you went through.
Yeah.
But I mean, something you've mentioned is there are quite a bit of challenges when it comes to this
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
So, being a Kenyan musician, could you just tell us some of the challenges that you've probably experienced on your own? Or maybe if you'd like to highlight some of the challenges that other Kenyan musicians have been facing, maybe tell us a bit
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so personally, there's been an issue when it comes to finances because you find that I fund everything from my pocket. So when it comes to like studio rehearsals, it's on me. When it comes to clothes, makeup, and all these things, videography, photography, it's on me. So I'd say that's a huge challenge on my part because sometimes you get an event to perform at, but the event planner is not giving you money to pay for your rehearsals, to cater for your band and such kind of stuff. So it comes from me. So I'd say finances is a big issue. Another problem I've seen in the industry is there's a little, like mentorship is still not a thing here. It's like we are still living in that age where we feel like if I'm above you, and I nurture someone who's under me, they'll come and defeat me. And we forget that we're all like an industry and we bring in different things to the table. So if you help me rise, it's not like I'm going to take your light. You're just going to light my light and we can all light. So there's still a gap when it comes to mentorship. Then I also feel like the laws in Kenya, because currently that digital bill that is being passed when it comes to YouTubers, creatives, let's say everything digital, it can be a big hindrance because you can imagine if you're starting like me, then I'm holding an event and the government wants to tax part of my ticketing money, it can really demoralize you as an upcoming artist. Yeah, then yeah, that's what I'd say.
Gosh, speaking of that bill,
Yeah.
what are some of the thoughts you have around it? What do you think of that bill? I mean, I'd like to share my opinions after you, but honest opinion. You've talked about a very small element of it, but could you maybe
Yeah.
tell us a bit more about what you think?
Disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer, but I think Kenya is still young when it comes to, let's say, the digital market and the digital industry. So if the government is going to put like hindrances by taxing upcoming businesses, upcoming creatives, then it's going to really take us back, because most people will fear like to be more innovative when it comes to the digital space. More people will feel like, maybe I should move to another country which will support my work in the digital space, rather than this government who is trying to tax me as I'm beginning. And considering that this industry has it's still young, it's still growing, because technologically I can't say we are like at the top, we're still developing. So I feel like it's going to really curb like a lot of innovation. Yeah.
Man, I feel the same way too. Like, to be honest,
It's really sad.
being in the whole digital marketing space, actually, that really shocked me, especially considering that even how we were supposed to give our feedback was very non-digital. Actually, just put me off, because I was like, I have opinions, but there's no way I'm writing a letter, taking it to post office, or dropping it to the office. I'm thinking, how, in which day and age, you can be here harassing me as a digital person, then you want me to work manually. So,
and even I've been seeing like people complaining about how they're really trying to kill the youth, because many young people are starting things for themselves like through the digital platforms. So if you come and it's like you're trying to make them not work, it's really tough. I don't
completely
know.
And it makes no sense, because like for someone like you, I know, for example, with this COVID, some of the things that I know you've probably thought about is maybe having a live event, but when you think about the logistics around a live event, again, you're like, So when you think of having a live paid event now with that bill, you're almost like, hey, now what am I going to be getting?
You're just like, maybe I shouldn't do it.
And you see, that's the worst part, because it's really going to kill a lot of things. Because I mean, now you can't tell me they'll charge bloggers, they'll charge YouTubers, they'll charge influencers. There are so many digital things they can charge for. And it's really just disheartening. But I mean, away from that, it's pretty interesting to hear about some of those challenges that you're actually experiencing as an artist in Kenya. Because the truth of the matter is, some of these things people don't talk about. Personally, I know my friends and I usually organize an event at least once a year. And I can tell you, even for us, the whole purpose of that event, it's called the Marika Festival. Lynne has performed before. And we're just all about, taking some of this Kenyan hidden talent to different people who are able to attend the event. And the biggest challenge for us, even as Imarika, is funds. Because even us, we are a few partners and we fund it ourselves, sometimes from the profit that comes from the event. But I mean, personally, I desire the day we'll reach a point where we can pay for your studio sessions. I really desire to reach that stage, because we know it's a struggle. You ask people to perform, you really don't care how they're going to pay for studio time. You don't care how they're going to pay their band. You're just thinking about, I want Lynne to perform. It's Lynne I'm going to pay. And sometimes, we look so bad when we're approaching artists, but even us, we have the same struggle, and I wish this is a conversation that would actually be talked about. But thanks for sharing. We're really grateful. I've not had someone in a different career on my YouTube channel. And so, it's just interesting to talk about. But even as we close off, any last words you'd like to say to probably someone who's out there, thinking about starting music, or someone who maybe has started with music and they're thinking about all these reservations and all these challenges, and they're thinking, should I stop or should I continue? What would you tell them as Lynne?
I tell them like to use the gift that they have been given, like to share it with the world. Because as a musician, you've been given this special sort of art that you can share with the whole world, even if there's a language barrier, even if there's some difficulties. Music touches like a wide range of places. And the moment you just stand in front of people and share your music, the emotions that you evoke in people, that should motivate you to do better. And even if opportunities don't come, build your own stage, make it work.
Wow, thanks so much for that, Lynne. I think that was my best take home, because build your own stage, especially now with Corona. I'm hoping to see a lot of musical things on my feed, on my story, no matter how raw it is, you know, even without a band, even if it's just acoustic. I'm really looking forward to see more of that. But thanks so much for joining us today. Guys, that was
Thank you.
it from Lynne. I'm really glad that we had her on the channel today. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment. In case you have any wonderful things to say to Lynne, feel free to drop them in the comment section. But until next time, bye.
Bye.